So hello and welcome to this webinar. I'm your host Johannes Reiner, and this is the project we're going to make today. This cabinet. And without further ado, let's get started. Let's say File, New, and here's our start cabinet in our start room. Let me activate the touch areas here and scale the room real quick. Set it to 4000, then let me add some distance to the left. 1 meter. And then we need our cabinet to be 1200 in width and 2000 in height and 350 in depth. Then we set the plinth to between sides and adjust the height to 60 millimeters. So next thing is we need some dividers. Let us add 2 vertical dividers first, and then 2 horizontal dividers on the right, 3 on the left, and 4 in the middle. Then let me quickly explain the depth of division settings. Therefore we go to Cabinet, and here in the back panel settings we have the setting depth of division here. If we set this to 0, we have one big back panel. If we set it to 1, the back panel gets divided by the first row of dividers that are inserted in the cabinet. If we set this to 2, the second row of dividers go also through the back panel. If I set this to 3, you see that nothing happens for now. But if I go to division, and I take another divider and drag it into the cabinet, you can see that this also goes through the back panel. If I go now to cabinet and set this again to 2, you can see that it only goes to the back panel, but not through it. But we don't want a divider here, so I quickly delete this and just let us go on with this cabinet. So I set the cube area height here to 365.2. Same here. And here. And up here. Next thing we do is we go to interior, go to adjustable shelf, and set our group of holes to 5. And then add an adjustable shelf in here, up in here, and down there. when we now click on rendered 2 more times, we have the outline view here. You can toggle the views here. If you click more than once, first view is this, second is with enhanced edges, 3 is with enhanced contours, also on the holes, and the next is the scribble view. I just want to set the edges to be more easily visible. So that's it for now. Let's add some doors. Make sure frame is deactivated and inlay is activated. Let us set left door up here and in here and one down here. And then let's set some right doors, one in here, one in here, one up here, and one down there. Then we need some drawers in the middle, two of them. And that's it for the fronts. Let us now set this to no handle because we want to use some push to opens. And that's about it. Now we need to delete these back panels here because I want these completely empty. And we do this by going to the cube area, go to settings, then scroll all the way down and set remove back to 1. If you do some settings here, and you have more than one option, it's always you have always the description down here in this text area. Now we set this to 1 and save it. And as you can see, the back panel has been removed. We do the same for this one. All the way down, remove back to 1. Click save. Same in here. And in here. Now we have the sides go through up here, but we want to set it to a mitre. Same on the left side. And then we activate the line view and check the connectors. As you can see, these are some minifix connectors. But for the mitres, I want to set another one. You can do this here in cabinet. Down here in mitre, you can set a different connector. This Climax is probably much easier to assemble than the minifix here. So let's get back to rendered view. And customize the materials. For the cabinets, I want a Egge U999 and 25mm thickness. And I want all parts of the group have this material. So we set this, excuse me, drag it on the cabinet, and the material is changed. Next material we want is 19mm F186. Make sure all parts of group is deselected and only selected part is selected. Then we drag it to this door and to this door. The next material we want is some red Egge material. We drag it to here and to the door down there. Then we want some white material. On this door and on the door down here. And some Egge H1145 on the two drawers and on this door. So if we now deactivate the touch areas and the measurements, we can have a clearer view on the cabinet we just created. If we now go here and draw the room, let me just set the ceiling and the left and right wall to invisible. And maybe deactivate the floor trim. So this is our cabinet we just created. We could also open the fronts or set them to invisible, or just activate them again. So that's it for the cabinet. Let me just export this to TrunRay. Therefore, we activate the room and hit TrunRay. So the drawing gets opened in TrunRay. And as you can see, not all the textures have been imported to TrunRay. Now we set the left wall invisible by double-clicking it and toggle the visibility here. Also for the right. And then we go to texture. Change the category here to our Egge category. This was the red. Make a double click on the door and click the texture. Same in here. And then we need to adjust the lights next. These two here. I'll demonstrate why we need to do that. If we click preview, we get a quick preview render. And as you can see, these two lights here are way too bright. And also the floor is very shiny. So we go to lighting, and light number 4 is this one here. And we set this to minus 1800. Same with 5. If we now click preview again, we can see this looks much more natural. Not that overly bright, but the shininess of the floor is still way too much. So we go to texture, make a double click on the floor, and set our shininess to 5. If we now preview again, this looks much better. So to output our render now, we need to adjust the frame here, then set our output folder. Set it just to desktop. Set our render resolution. And then hit render, because but of course you can here customize the anti-aliasing settings from 2 to 16. I'll leave it at 16 because it's the best quality, but it also takes longer as if you just hit 2. For now this doesn't really matter. I quickly forward this and then I'll come back to you. So here we are. Let me just open the render. And this is the render we just made. If you find this too time consuming, you can also in TrunCAD go to File and make a screenshot here. You can then also save this where you want to. Screenshot. hit save, and then it gets saved. And that's the screenshot we just made. It's really quick. Doesn't look as nice as if you render it in TrunRay, but it also looks nice. So thank you for watching this webinar. I hope you have fun with TrunCAD, and see you next time. Bye bye.